let OSHA see that.
Oh, yeah, that's a violation.
It'll be all right.
Let's call OSHA.
You're a rider up.
My step stool's in my closet.
Yeah.
That's not there.
I'm trying.
It's not even mine. Stole on all. I do them all the time. I can't help it. Take it down there anyway to get the
We need to have a standard form. See, cause look at the past.
Yep, we gotta either get ours fixed or.
We need to have like a standardized sheet.
I like two different colors too.
Well, I did that for
Darker than this one.
the dressing.
Do what I can.
But I didn't do it for this.
They didn't follow the dressing.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. Welcome to the public hearing and regular city commission meeting for February 9th, 2026. Call to order for the first public hearing. Can we have roll call, please?
Whedon,
Yes.
Swam,
Present.
George, Money,
Present.
and Bianski.
Thank you very much. At this time, I will take a motion to open the public hearing number 1.
I move to, okay.
Alright, so move to open public hearing number 1.
Support?
I'll support.
Thank you. Okay.
Well, you just tested it if it drops safe.
Comments?
That's an expensive piece of.
It won't stand up either.
You guys will have your time. You didn't have to make so much noise in the front row.
Just demonstrating its durability.
Absolutely, I appreciate that.
Okay, the purpose of this public hearing is to hear the public input regarding the proposed, roll call, please.
Money,
They threw me off.
Present.
Bianski,
Yes.
Whedon,
Yes,
Swam,
Yes.
and George.
Yes.
thank you. Okay, the purpose of this public hearing is to hear the public input regarding the proposed ordinance 2026.03447, an ordinance of regulation of sidewalk cafes and outdoor service areas. At this time, the city commission will hear public comments on the proposed ordinance of the regulation of the sidewalk cafes and outdoor service areas. All persons wishing to comment shall be given an opportunity to do so. Any person addressing the commission shall do so at the podium and state his or her name and direct their comments directly to the commission. In the event that people wish to comment, I, as the presiding officer, may determine that each person speaking shall limit his or her comments to 3 minutes. As the presiding officer, I may terminate any public comments that are unreasonable, lengthy, violate the city's rules of procedure for city commissions, meetings, or unrelated to the public hearing. At this time, is there any public comments on this ordinance? Okay. Seeing nobody approach the podium, I will take a motion to close the public hearing.
This is Money. I'd move to close the public hearing.
Thank you. Do we have support?
I'll support.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Okay. At this time, we'll call to order the public hearing number 2. Can we have roll call, please?
Whedon,
Yes.
Swam,
Present.
George,
Here.
Money,
Present.
and Bianski.
Very good. All in favor?
Aye.
We gotta hit that.
That was roll call, okay?
Roll call.
Motion to
Yeah.
open.
Motion to open? I'll move to open public hearing number 1.
This is Money. I'll support.
Number 2.
Thank you. Roll call.
Swam,
Yes.
George,
I know that was
Yeah.
scary.
Yes.
Money,
Yes.
Bianski,
Yep.
and Whedon.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, the purpose of the public hearing is to hear the public comments on proposed ordinance 2026.02/446, an ordinance to amend chapter 102 utilities to add article 5, section 102 to 177 sewer laterals and abuttresses. At this time, the city commission will hear the public comments on the proposed ordinance to hear the amended chapter 102 utilities to add Article 5, Section 102 to 177, sewer laterals and buttresses. All persons wishing to comment shall be given the opportunity to do so. Any person addressing the commission shall do so at the podium and state his or her name and direct their comments directly to the commission. In the event that many people wish to comment, I, as presiding officer, may determine that each person speaking shall limit his or her comments to 3 minutes. As presiding officer, I may terminate any public comments that are unreasonably lengthy, violate the city's rules of procedure for the city commission, or unrelated to the subject of the public hearings. At this time, is there any public comments?
Norma Ferris, 304 North Oak Street. What are you talking about?
Yes, ma'am, Norma. What this is a policy, the city has always held that everything from the sewer main to the house is the responsibility of the homeowner, like if your lateral fails, we're just putting into our ordinances now to codify it and make it an ordinance versus a policy.
Okay, I agree.
Thanks, Norma.
Good job, Norma.
Everybody else is afraid.
Right.
No, agreed.
I know what that is.
Exactly. Okay. Seeing nobody else approach the podium, I will take a motion to close the public hearing number 2.
I move to close public hearing.
Thank you. Do I have support?
I'll support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Okay, if everybody will join me in the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, and for tonight's invocation,
David Mitchell.
Pastor David Mitchell, Faith Victory Fellowship, township guy, but this is my city. So let us pray. Father God, thank you for the servants that serve this city. Father God, thank you for their heart to understand, Father, how to serve in your love and your care for our community. Father, I thank you there was a gift of their lives for us. And I thank you you would honor it and you would order our service together to honor all that live here. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
thank you, Dave. Okay, roll call, please.
Whedon,
Yes.
Swam,
Present.
George,
Here.
Mike,
Present.
and Bianski.
Yes.
Sorry.
You good? Okay. Okay, at this time, I will take a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll move to approve the agenda as presented.
Thank you. Do we have support?
I'll support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay, at this time, we will take public comment on agenda items only. Please approach the podium, state your name for the record, and keep your comments to 3 minutes, please. Okay, seeing nobody approach the podium. At this time, I will take a motion on the consent agenda.
This is money I'd move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you. Do we have support?
I'll support.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. We do not have any scheduled matters from the floor. We do have some reports from departments, committees, and boards. Buchanan City Police Department, presentation for the year-end report. Chief Harvey Barnett.
Good evening. I am here, you have received the report, hopefully you've read it, so I'm just here to address any questions that you have regarding what you read.
One question I had, does it seem like we're on pace for the same amount of types of offenses, or is it going up, are we slowing down?
Yeah, so our complaint load is actually increased
Okay.
compared to last year. Again, that's related to personnel, having more personnel. As far as crime statistics, we're still around pretty much where we're at. The only incident that you may have noticed was related to a drug overdose, which is still under investigation.
Yep.
But based on how it had been classified, it was classified as negligent homicide. So it's still under investigation.
Okay.
But as far as crime rates, it's stay, as it has been, kind of in that average. So Buchanan is a pretty safe place. It's just, knock on wood, we don't have to deal with all the other major incidents that the other cities and townships have to deal with on a major scale.
I do appreciate the amount of effort you and the team put together to put this. I mean, it's a lot of content, and it's great to see all the work that our department does in the community.
We appreciate it. You know, it's one of those that we adapted from one of our sister agencies, but it gives you something more in detail that we can also present to the public. And actually being transparent is very important in law enforcement, but also for the city.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a great report to put together. Looks good.
A lot of data in yours.
I'm a researcher, what do you think?
And just for the public's knowledge, current staffing you guys are at, where
We
you-
are
where you-
at, we just lost an officer, so we're
Okay.
at 7 officers, which includes a sergeant and an SRO.
Very good. And everything's going well with the schools, SRO is working
Yes,
out? Okay,
very well.
very good.
What did we lose?
Officer Pothoff. Officer Pothoff.
Oh.
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Okay. Next on the agenda is Buchanan City Fire Department, the presentation of the year-end report and a demonstration of the SCBA. Chief Adams.
Mayor, Commissioners.
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna go over, obviously, you had my report in the packet.
Yep.
Definitely wanna cover some of the things just so there's not any gray areas. We did have a record year. In 2025, we ran 172 calls. This is the most calls we've ever had since I've been on anyway, and when I started, we averaged about 80 calls a year, so. So we responded to 6 fires in a structure. Doesn't necessarily mean that was a full-blown structure fire, but some type of fire. Could have been kitchen fire, could have been a dryer fire, some type of a fire inside of a structure. 4 fires that were not in a structure, which could be a shed fire, grass fire, something that's not inside of a normal home. 2 vehicle fires, which that's not just a car or a truck, that could be a tractor, large equipment, which both of those were large equipment. 6 illegal burn complaints, 9 motor vehicle accidents, 22 mutual aid requests from between all of our partners, which Niles City, Niles Township, Bertrand, and Buchanan Township are their most commons. 38 fire alarms or smoke alarms or CO alarms. I don't have it broken down to how many of each, but that falls into the same category. 9 smoke investigations that turned out to be, something small, wasn't really a fire. And then 21 medical assists, which range usually, most of the time it's some type of lift assist with SMACUS, but we have had some that we go and perform not first aid, but CPR or different types of medical assists, especially if we roll up on an accident. And then 57 other calls, and that's usually power lines, gas leaks, any service calls, anything like that. That range kind of falls into all that area. So quite a few of those. And then the calls per month, I usually try to put something in here that is unique for each month. So in January, we went to a fire alarm at Mill Pond Apartments and discovered that they had their fire extinguisher stolen. So that's kind of how that started, was off of our fire alarm call. In February, at least for me, we responded to the first time that I've ever seen a fire in a freezer. That was pretty unique. In March, we had a bad weather, so we responded to 10 calls in a 12-hour period, and then one of them was pretty unique, that a carport from 3 houses down was on the caller's roof and entangled in his power lines. That was a pretty interesting call. In April, we also hosted in March the Simcoe gas training for us and our mutual aid partners. So we had that. In April, we responded to about 3 different city park fires where there was, either a picnic table or different pieces of equipment on fire, which was kind of different. We also had a very good RIT training, which is Rapid Intervention Team, if we have someone that has a mayday or an emergency. In May, we responded to the Sudsville Laundry. They had a pretty significant dryer fire that was called in by the Oriental restaurant there. They were getting smoke in their building, so that was a pretty interesting call. And we actually had a ventilation training on a real roof, not just simulating on our prop. June was the first spray day that we supported. We also, every year we support the AEP building on Redbud with their annual fire drill. July we responded to a dump truck in a power line, that was kind of interesting. We did have fire in the attic, a fire on Arctic Street, if I could read my own stuff here. And really good, every year we go out to Padnos and do vehicle extrication training, and they're really good to let us go out there. They usually give us 2 vehicles to work with. And then August, we've been pushing that for a long time. A lot of thanks to Tony, but we got the fire inspection program started. And of course, we were well into the construction of the year by then. We'd responded to several gas leaks where the construction crews had hit a pipe, hit a line. We also supported the annual haunted house pre-plan walkthrough. They always do, all the mutual aid partners get called to come do a walkthrough every year. We are on auto aid for that area with Niles Township between just past Hardings, where Niles Township takes over, till all the way to the bypass. We're pretty much in that whole area. We're on auto aid. So that was pretty good training. In September, one of the things I've been trying to do for several years, we started hydrant flow testing. We got over 30 hydrants done in the first round, which was fantastic. I'm very happy with that. We'll definitely be following up with that once the weather breaks. October is a very busy month for us. We had several fire prevention activities with the schools and daycares and Pizza Hut night and several different things. We also support the trail treat, or whatever they call that, and the trick or treat. And then in November, we responded to 2 different structure fires in Niles. We also ran 11 calls in this waiver period because that was the first big snow period that we had. We had several calls in that period. And we hosted the Berrien County Firefighter Association meeting. And in December, we took delivery of our new MSA 5 of our new MSA SCBA packs and 20 respirators. Since we were only able to purchase 5 to start with, we had to get everybody a mask, because now we have 2 types of packs. So we had to buy a mask for everybody, but only 5 packs at this time. Obviously, we supported the normal common lighting and the Santa Parade, and responded to the first time that I know of to the high-rise fire over Niles, the one down the apartments down by the river. They had a kitchen fire, which they had a good stop. We supported them with that. One of the things that Bob does for us, he's our training officer at Blaylock. He tracks all of our hours. So we spent 322 hours conducting internal training, so the training that we do ourselves. We had guys go out, we had spent 16 hours of training outside the department. That could be just a regular classroom, it could be online, or it could be hands-on. So it just depends on what kind of class they take. We conducted 142 hours with the trucks. Every month we do a functional check and an inventory check. So we spent several hours with the trucks every year. And then we also spent 71 and a half hours with the public. And like I was talking about before, that's a lot of fire prevention, but that ranges from city events to smoke detector installations, which Joe is heading up that. We've got a really good, that coincides with the state program for those. We do a blood drive every year, supporting the schools. Every year we go out with the methodology class, and they do a boat burn, and we support that. And then we also do fair duty. We usually have a day that we take a vehicle up there. Usually we take the aerial, and we have guys that are on duty at the fair. And then spray day, and then of course the Halloween and Christmas events. We also logged 710 and a half hours at the fire station. So one of the things that I learned back when we had our last ISO evaluation is, of course, full-time departments man their stations 24/7. They get all points you can get for that. What I learned in the last one is if we track our time, we can get partial points. So that's what we did. We've been doing that for about 4 years now, so we've been trying to track that. Currently, our membership is 17 firefighters and 1 cadet. So our numbers are pretty decent. The 1 cadet is actually going through the adult class right now because he will turn 18 before the class is over. So they allowed him into the adult class, and he's doing fantastic. far as fire inspections, just in the short time that we started it, that number's raised since I did this, but over 160 hours of fire inspection and pre-incident planning. So one of the things that we did when we set this up was when John goes out to do a fire inspection, usually it's Pat, but so a firefighter goes with him to either pre-plan if we haven't done a pre-plan or update the pre-plan. And that way we're killing two birds with one stone. Excuse me. And then as we progress, the plan is to move into, so he's bid all the businesses and churches and all those type of things. And then once that's complete is to move into the rental side and then eventually be a flip-flop. Do rentals 1 year, businesses the next, and just keep flopping that way. And I put a plug in here about the Bell Memorial, just because I don't know if everybody knows about the Bell Memorial. Which is Firehouse Park on Oak Street. We did that ourselves in 2012 when we were 150 years old. Completely built by past and present firefighters. And it's a really nice place. We maintain it. We do all the grass and everything. We do get help from Mike and his group when we do get some vandalism going on down there once in a while. But other than that, it's a really nice park. If you have any time and you're walking the trail, stop, take a look. It's pretty. Obviously it's not a play park, but it's a really nice park. Like I say, we're pretty proud of it. So in summary, excuse me, 2025 was definitely interesting, especially with the construction. We had several times that it was very difficult to get around town while we're responding to a call. Especially with the reroute. A lot of the reroute was into smaller roads, not as wide, which made it interesting for our vehicles. But we made it through it, obviously. So to finish up, because I kind of mentioned about the logging the time at the station. So in 2020, we moved from an ISO classification of a 5 to a 4, which I thought was a pretty good accomplishment for us, especially not being full-time or anything. And we had just started the first fire inspection, but it was the cursory inspection, just to say, hey, we're going to be doing this program. We didn't expect it to be that much later before we started, but that we're going to be doing it, and here's what it's going to look like. So with that going full now, and the hydrant flow testing in place and logging of the hours at our station, I'm confident that, excuse me, that when we have our next evaluation, that we can we moved from a 4 to a 3, which would be a very good accomplishment for a fire department like us, because when we go from a 5 to a 4, the insurance now, there can be a discount for businesses, as that progresses. Now, obviously, the insurance companies don't tell everybody that. The person has to know and call and ask their department. But when if we can move to a 3, then now it affects residential. That can be a discount for residential too. So if we make that move, it's something we as the city needs to put out to the residents that, hey, this is something, not to say it hasn't happened, but I'm confident that it will. When we got moved from a 5 to a 4, we were only 2 points away from a 3. So I'm pretty confident if we maintain where we're at, we will move to a 3. So I'm looking forward to that and hoping that we can do that.
When do they do that evaluation?
Pardon?
When does that evaluation take place?
Well, they used to be every 5 years, but they've changed kind of how they do it, so they don't have a set schedule now. When we had our last one, Bridgman, which I'm the chief of Bridgman, we're good friends, we work at the plant together. We had ours pretty much right after the other, but he just had his last year, so I'm assuming we'll see him this year. But I usually don't get notice till about 3 months in advance, and then 2 or 3 months in advance, and I get notice. So.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Mike, because a lot of people don't know that. They don't know about this ISO rating, because for a good number of years, we were a good fire department, but that was before all the ISO standards, and like I said, now people don't realize what you guys have to do to help maintain us, and then that also, like you said, it affects your insurance. I forgot I was supposed to talk into the microphone.
I think you're allowed.
Yeah, I got yelled at earlier. And like I said, a lot of people just don't realize, what you guys do to promote that rating and keep our insurances low. So, yeah, great job, and great job on this report. This is probably one of the better ones I've seen in a good number of years.
Well, thank you. Obviously, I put together the first 2 pages the third page is the NIFRS report, the one that's what, when we do, so we get our run sheet that we make out, we get a rip and run from the county when they dispatch us, and then we also, when we do the NIFRS with the National Incident Reporting System, which is changing, but, and then that's the report from that. And you probably notice there's a different numbers there. When we get bad weather, sometimes we have to self-dispatch, so especially if county is really busy with several different disciplines, they'll tell us to self-dispatch. So sometimes the numbers get off a little bit because they don't, they're not tracking that if we're self-dispatching. So, but other than that, yeah. But yeah, appreciate that. But I'm not done. So we want you to see what you're spending your money on. So Pat Fellows and his son Christian are going to kind of talk about the packs that we just received, and so you can see it.
So I guess I'll start with this. This is the mask. I'll just pass it around. This is the bag that McQueen threw in with the purchase of every mask. Get scratched out of it. They moved everything out of the mask. All your heads up display, everything. It's all on the regulator. The voice amplifiers on the pack. I'll demonstrate it in just a second. But you can see how light it is.
I'm not laughing at you, Mr. Skelly.
No.
Past memories came floating by. Yeah, that's a lot different than when I was on the fire department.
You can always let Larry.
But
Give it to Larry. See if Larry knows how to do it.
so
That's going to make some noise when he turns it on.
It's not light, but all the older packs used to have three C batteries that were over here, or they'd have 6 double A's that you put in down here. This comes with its own lithium battery, and I'll take it out here.
You gotta press the thing first. Way left, there you go.
Comes with its own key, so you don't have to.
Grab the pack off.
So that's how you take the battery out. It's got its own battery. We currently have,
Wow, that is light.
yeah, it's a lifetime, no questions asked, full replacement if something goes wrong with it.
Wow.
We just call them up and they send us a new one.
And what's the lifetime on that battery?
That I do not know.
15 years.
I'm sorry, I just want to be, switch off.
Yeah.
Joe?
So the battery is warranty for 15 years, just like the pack is. So if that battery goes bad, we call our dealer and he'll just send us a new battery. And
So you don't have to recharge them?
so yeah, we do.
That's what I meant by light.
Oh, and they're supposed to be good for 1,000 charges.
For 1,000 charges, but how long does it last before you need to recharge it?
Between charges.
Well, we haven't had them long enough to really get a gauge on that yet.
Okay.
We've only had them in service for about a month.
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to, that's a 6-hour battery in my air, and that sucker weighs almost 3 pounds. And when you grab this thing, come on, Medicare. Get it together.
Well, this is one of the reasons we really wanted these packs. The packs that the Kurt Scott packs that we've had for years are regular battery, and they still are, the new ones. This is the technology's really, obviously came around in the last several years, and that is one of the reasons why, so we don't have to trying to change regular batteries. But I do know that everybody that's had this is obviously the newest model. Since we had to buy them, we got the new 2025 model that meets all the newest NFPA standards.
No, I'm good.
The ones that the last standard, from the people that I've heard from that have them, they last quite a bit. What most people do is they put them on a schedule. They'll leave them on in the pack for a month, and then rotate it into charge. Because it will draw very, very slightly, like a trickle draw,
Right.
while it's not doing anything.
Right.
But as far as I know, we have very good life, and they're not expensive. They're not real cheap to replace. But if you have a problem with one, they'll replace them for free. So.
Grab a hold of this, just so you know what I'm
Say, the
talking
lithium batteries in my deer cameras last all winter long.
How much is that?
Yeah, so these air packs are basically a mini computer.
Under the old ones?
They can be so if the NFPA code changes and if it's something electronic, so like the breathing air alarm is at I think 33% of the bottle now. If they change that code, we can change it in that air pack with an RFID chip. So they can come up and actually come out and change them instead of trying to buy a new pack that meets the standard or something like that. If the bell alarm changes, if it needs to be a little louder, if the tone changes, they can change that. So,
It's all
there's
gonna
a-
look like a fob.
yeah, and we got a computer software that we're, working with now that we can load everything into it and it'll track all the, when maintenance is due, it'll track whatever maintenance we've had done on them. Once we get further into this, we can track the battery life, so we can see, how long they're lasting and how long, or how many charges we're getting out of them.
Well, now the pack, if that battery goes and you're using it, you're in the middle of it, that battery goes dead, that doesn't affect how this pack works. I
Correct.
mean, you still have whatever, what is that, a
Right.
30-minute pack or a 35-minute pack?
45.
So-
Yeah, you
45.
still, you still have air, you just, your alarm, your air system alarm, your pass device.
So you're
all
gonna
that
have to go old
will
school, you gotta check your.
Yeah,
Well,
so
that's-
all of our
But
electronics
it
will
has
go,
a,
all the electronics will go dead, but it still has a manual
still
bell
has
on
like
it.
a bell down here
Right,
for
we got a
low
gauge
air.
here. Okay.
So if you have low air, this will go off like the one D.
Yeah.
Also, there's
And it
what's,
doesn't operate off the battery?
No, this one, no, this
No?
one.
It goes off the
air pressure.
Okay. When Mike first started the fire department, of course, I was there, and these systems didn't have anything. If you had low air and you were in the middle of the fire, you were basically hosed. They did have as I remember, a little switch or a little pull thing on the pack that would get you out of the building, quite possibly, but the electronics is all.
yeah, there was no electronics on any of those back then.
Nothing, it was just a box and a pack.
Dan, for these packs, and even though old packs, they have on the regular, there's a heads-up display, and it shows you the power level. So you'll know before you even go in whether you're gonna have enough, you know.
But also the regulator will start vibrating when it gets low on air.
Okay.
So even if, like.
So you'll feel it in your face?
Yeah. So there's a lot of
There's
technology.
also a heads up display inside the.
The other nice thing about these air packs is that what's changed, like I said, they're mini
It'll give you
computers.
a set of lights, like
Okay.
green would be full, yellow is 3/4, and then it'll start getting red, and then it'll start blinking at you when you're low on air.
So with these air packs also, as you're just sitting here in the room breathing, it'll calculate how many minutes there is until that bottle's empty. And then when you stand up and you start working, it'll recalculate, and then it'll tell you the new workload. So if you're working hard and you're using more air, it'll tell you instead of 20 minutes, now you have 10 minutes.
Gives you
So-
analog and digital.
So it's all about safety. So if you're too far into a building and you know, I only got 10 minutes
Took
left,
the dumbass
I
out.
need to start leaving.
Right.
This right here is the voice amplifier. It used to be you have to hook it up to your face piece and then pull the radio up here to talk. This now comes right through here. You're talking, so I don't even have to do that. It's really cool. You can Bluetooth those radios to this pack. So, all you have to do is push the button on the radio and you can talk right without having to pull the mic up here. It's got the adjustable lumbar support.
Mike was on the fire department too for years. He never seen it. He never seen it.
I've seen it.
This right here is the
Progress
money
some.
meter. So if,
So you don't have to take your.
so if I go in and I grab somebody that's got low air, I can plug this into his tank back here, just by taking this off, plug it into his. And it will empty my tank and equalize into his. So we can both get out then. And this is the quick connect.
And it's not gonna be quick for you right now. There used to be a joke about
It just snaps in like that.
hooking up with your buddy on a breathing
Yeah, one
apparatus.
quarter turn, and it pops off. I change the power level. So I'll just turn it on real quick and
That's mechanical.
that's the bell you'll hear if you go up.
Watch out for the wind.
Well, that's not supposed to be hanging down.
Yeah, that won't be hanging.
That's normally in its pouch.
And you do the buddy system, people don't understand that you try to help each other when you're doing this. It's been since 1985 since I had to work with this. So
And
you
this-
can
this
imagine
also-
why
I know
it's
it's
40 years since I've seen one.
Oh, okay.
But this also has a.
The best feature on the air pack right here.
This chest
One of
strap.
them.
So if I tighten these, I can loosen these, and this will sit on my hip and carry all the weight. It's not as tight as I want it to be.
Right.
saves your shoulders.
I think they have these stationed in the truck itself. There's a.
Yeah, and the jump
And
seats.
so when you get in the truck, man,
They're in the seats.
you just slide back and you just start strapping in. That way when
And then you
when
pull a
get to
little
the
pin
fire.
between your legs and it releases the bottle.
Right.
So it doesn't become a missile in the truck if something happens.
But also, like he was saying, with the adjustable, it adjusts up and down, so if you're taller or shorter, you can make that pack, so you're not hitting your helmet on the back of this, SCBA. And then it also articulates with you, so when you bend side to side, the pack will move with you instead of just staying right in the center of your back. So MSA really did a.
Can hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just talking normal. And if this will go off
Yeah.
eventually, or I can shut it off for doing that. But everything on here is, like I said, it's got the heads-up display in here, tells me what, so I can see this. It'll show me a light, it'll show me what air I got. And it's got analog here, and it's got digital here. I can change so I can make it, so if I start breathing, it'll calculate how much air I got left by minutes.
And back to the computer part of it, so the further we get into these packs and when we buy more, if we choose to go with this, further into software.
I didn't get that.
Oh, that's my phone. Siri's answering.
AI. AI is not.
Lost my train of thought, so with the software, the incident command,
You know, it tells me.
so that has Bluetooth on it, if we have a tablet out at our truck, we can see where that firefighter's at all times. Because it has.
Does that
a
give you
meter.
5-minute warnings then too, or does it just give you a 5-minute warning when it's only got 5 minutes? I mean, does it tell you?
If you're looking at your chest piece right there, like if you look down at it, it'll tell you how many minutes you have left. So
Okay.
but
So
you have
you're
to.
still looking at it?
Yeah, you just have to.
It's
go
not
down.
beeping at you until you give your 5-minute warning or your 2-minute warning?
Yeah, unless you stay still for too long, then the air pack will go off because that's a built-in feature to alarm that
Or you
there's
can
a firefighter
In case you go down?
Yeah.
You gotta hold it down.
But it's not actually a 5-minute alarm.
No, it's pretty quick.
So what it does is it goes off.
That's good. I think we know what that sounds like now. Thanks.
security. That's a good segue.
It's like a dog whistle to tell you over there.
So what it's actually, it starts to let you know at 33% of the bottle is left. The reason is back before the old packs would only have 20%. Well, obviously they found out that if some, firefighters are deep into especially an industrial building, they took them 10 minutes or 15 minutes to get there. Now their alarm's going off, they may not have 10 minutes of air to get out, so they've changed that. So now it's 33%, that way if you start having problems, you can stop what you're doing and exit and be safe.
Stationary.
So I'll show you when I bleed the air out, you can hear this bell. That's the low air bell.
Yeah, I'll show you.
So if the battery totally dies, I'm going to.
No, I don't hear it again.
All right.
If the battery totally died, that bell will go off and your regulator will also vibrate.
Okay.
Thanks,
Now
Matt.
you know why they have to go through firefighter 1 and firefighter 2. It's not like you.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you,
Yeah.
gentlemen. Appreciate you.
Thanks,
coming
Mike.
out,
All right.
Thanks,
Take a
Mark.
close it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys, for all you do.
It was great to see you guys in here tonight. Thank you. Absolutely.
Thanks, Matt.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to unfinished business, ordinance 2026.02/446. Consider the second reading and enactment of said ordinance. It amends to chapter 102 utilities, article 5 for the sewage disposal, section 102 to 177.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
This is an ordinance that we've been working on for a few months now. What it is it codifies what's always been the city's policy, where it's the homeowner's asset from the main to the building. Every paid in the main is still the city. So what we're doing here is taking what's been policy for 20+ years and just making it codified in our ordinance.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, at this time, I'll take a motion on the said ordinance.
Yes, go ahead.
I move to approve the second reading and enactment of ordinance 2026.02/446 as presented.
Thank you, Dan. Do we have support?
This is money I'll support.
Thank you. Discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
George?
Yes.
Money?
Yes.
Bianski?
Yes.
Whedon,
Yes.
and Swam.
Yes.
Everybody can pretend like they're in Paris now.
Right. Okay, moving on to item B, under ordinance 2026.03/447. Consider the first reading of the ordinance which regulates sidewalk cafes, outdoor service areas, temporary public sidewalk furnishings, and the scheduling of the second public hearing for this ordinance.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
This is stemmed from, we have, as you know, several restaurants, bars, and businesses looking to locate and open up in the downtown area now. Also, the social district is more interested in businesses moving outside the buildings on the sidewalks. Historically, in communities, how this has worked is the MLCC requires you to have either a license agreement or some kind of franchise agreement for that space on the sidewalk. That adds both cost and time to that process. By taking this tack with it and doing it as a permit that we issue for the MLCC, that'll save money for both the city and for the applicant in the processing legal fee, and it'll make the whole process move quicker. So really, it accomplishes the same goal by regulating what happens in our public right of way. It's just doing it in a more efficient and cost-effective manner.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, this time we'll take a motion on the first reading.
I move to approve first reading of ordinance 2026.03/447/2445 as presented, and the schedule of public hearing for March 9th, 2026 for consideration of second reading and enactment.
Thank you. Do we have support?
I'll support.
Thank you. Discussion?
Dan, we will be cosmopolitan.
Lipstick on a pig.
Very good. Roll call, please.
Money,
Yes.
Bianski,
Yes.
Whedon,
Yes.
Swam,
Yes.
and George.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Very good, thank you. Moving on to new business, tree stump maintenance removal and grinding bid. Consider awarding the tree stump maintenance and removal and the grinding bid to Tree Works.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is the result of a competitive bid package we put out. Emma, and the Public Works guys did a great job putting together, identifying where you had this need throughout the community. As you may know, we've not done this in a few years. What this will do, will remove the stumps that have been down in the public right-of-way that are deep sidewalks and so forth. Remove those. We went through a competitive bid process. We received 2 bids. One came in after the deadline, so it was considered non-responsive. This bid came in at $11,750, which is well within the budget we would expect for this type of work and the number of stumps when you look at the size and the quantity. So we're recommending approving those contracts. We get these removed and get going with our sidewalk work this spring.
Okay, I'll take a motion on the tree stump bid to Tree Works.
This is money I'd move to approve the tree stump bid to Tree Works in the amount of $11,750.
Thank you. Do we have support?
I'll support.
Very good.
I do want to,
Discussion?
this is for 22 stumps, which is a lot of stumps. So I mean, this $11,000 sounds like a lot of money, but it is 22 stumps, which is, tells you how far behind we are in doing this. It just kind of bothers me, the locals aren't either reading our webpage, or, you know, I mean, there's so many tree people out there. I'd have thought we'd have got more bids.
It was bad storm weather, I think might have impacted. We had quite a few holding bids at the end of the day. And when we write out our bid packages, even there's a low bid, if we feel it's outside of industry norms, we can reject that. However, this bid was within what we would expect, actually a little below industry norms, and really good pricing, so we were comfortable with just having one bid.
There's a couple doozies on that list.
There's a couple big ones on that list.
Yeah, I mean, I would expect, you know, $750,000 a stump,
Exactly.
you know, and the bigger stumps are, you know, the closer they are to the sidewalk, because then if you touch that sidewalk, your blade's pretty much shot.
And these are removing below grade,
Right.
new topsoil, and putting seed down, so.
Oh, wow. Not bad. Very good. Okay. Yeah, roll call, please.
Bianski,
Yes.
Whedon,
Yes.
Swam,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
and Becker.
Yes.
Very good. Okay, moving on to item B, excess inventory. Consider authorizing the disposal of identified excess inventory.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
As you know, we've made a concerted effort this year to kind of get rid of some of the excess inventory we've had around the city yet. This is the 3rd batch of these we've brought before you. There's a few items from City Hall on the computer monitor side here. The vast majority of it is unclaimed goods that have been at the police department for a number of years or past the somebody can claim them period. So we're looking to get rid of those so we're not storing them any longer.
I'd move to authorize the disposal of excess inventory as presented.
Thank you. Do we have support?
I will support.
Thank you. Discussion? Okay.
Happy to see you go.
Right, roll call please.
Whedon,
Yes.
Swam,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Money,
Yes.
and Bianski.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, consider entering closed session under MCL 15.268 1D to discuss the sale of real property and related negotiations, and for MCL 15.268 1A to consider the periodic personnel evaluation of Tony McGee at the request of the employee. This time I will take a motion on those.
I'll move to enter closed session under MCL 15.268 1D to discuss the sale of real property related to negotiations for the MCL 15.268 1A to consider the periodic personnel evaluation of Tony McGee at the request of the employee.
Very good. We have support?
This money I'll support.
Thank you. Roll call please.
Swam,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Money,
Yes.
Bianski,
Yeah.
and Whedon.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I appreciate it.
I'll be back in a little while.
Thanks. Good job.
Thanks.
So is this the cadet?
No. Actually, he was a cadet about a year ago.
Okay, so this is your announcement.
Yep.
I bet you it's a bigger raise. Where are you gonna dad?
Still on Main Street.
What do you think they moved?
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Not yet. We were supposed to build and then the land
Wonder what they're
fell
gonna
through, so now
evaluate
we
for.
don't. We're still listening.
Well, they have to do that, but they're gonna do this closed session. right?
Yeah.
Tony.
That, yeah, we were thinking of that. No.
Evaluate Tony.
sold, how
Okay, you're right, I did.
Right,
We were going to rent, but then the land started going all sideways and, we knew we weren't gonna move forward with it, so then I was like, why would it be in a rental if I don't know what the hell I'm doing with the money?
Did she look at, did you look at, Anna's property out on Main Street?
They sold that.
No, I know, I didn't know if you, did you look at it before they sold it?
No, Lauren did.
Yeah,
I didn't know, cause I know Lauren said no.
Yeah, cause the only place to do it is.
Had a bad time.
yeah.
She got about what they're asking for.
Probably.
I think it was
I
pretty
think
close.
so. I don't know who bought it.
Oh, okay.
She works at Canal, so we hired her.
I know.
So I didn't.
That's awesome.
She's our wedding coordinator.
But yeah, the plan is still to list. We'll see what we're gonna do.
Oh, excellent.
It'll
I
be
never know what
contingent
I'm
on-
gonna do.
I know you don't.
It'll be contingent on us finding a house, but
I'll find you one, I'll sell you one.
I don't even know where you live now.
me?
Yeah, I can't.
I'm on Chippewa Street,
In the city.
yep, right by Middleton Court,
That's a,
where the rich people live.
we're working on it right now.
No, I have, my neighbors are six
So,
barking.
in that system,
So how soon before you move again?
I'm just by antifreeze, it's cheap.
pressure valve in the air.
Hey, don't say that too loud.
Let's see about.
So, when the
Yeah,
flat
I did.
falls to air, you can open
I
up
have a
and
sniper
fill
rifle,
the
so we
system.
take care of it.
Come on over.
Yeah.
And now I had a new furnace put in, and he had somebody working with him, and they didn't hook up the plumbing part to the furnace.
I know the guy.
My basement's shot.
When he was on the phone, he said he did.
Oh,
Finished?
it was?
It was.
It's probably not.
It will be this week.
Ever made that much of a mess?
Oh, up the walls, yeah.
Especially in a place.
It was-
Yes, and that's why it came.
Evaporated, why did it leak so bad?
It went
Yeah, no, that
under the
technician
flooring,
left
which
that
was
valve.
plywood,
Yeah.
saturated all the plywood, and then it bubbled up through the flooring, up the walls.
But it didn't start doing that
Larry
until,
said that, the maintenance
Right,
guy.
yeah, I heard it.
And so then when I opened it, it was pumping air into the system to plug it back up again, but it wasn't holding any
Even if
residual.
it's like.
And the valve was
And
closed.
you walk on it and it's like sponge.
And it
and
looked
Julie
like
doesn't know, she'll go in that
I
side of
just
her
went down
basement.
there.
I just don't understand how
Yeah.
It was months. What month was that he put that in?
like
Yeah, monthly.
June or July.
Oh, yeah, cause the winter time, or the summertime.
Yeah, all summer and then,
Have you
yeah.
still go down there and just finish? You
Yeah.
go-
She had somebody put laundry on her main floor, so she, nope, you have to go down there.
Saturday night. I was like, well, yes, if they would.
I said, I don't wanna walk down those stairs, I'll bring the laundry upstairs. The only thing I have to go down there for is
Yeah.
to clean the cat box and
That
put
makes sense, yeah.
salt in the softener. But that's on the, that's right by my stairs, so I don't go to the other side that's all finished. Yeah, there's a fireplace down there, bedroom fireplace.
That's like, obviously every time you do it. I'm like, she just moved upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
Just moved upstairs above.
If she didn't have a crazy old dog, she could've.
18 years, yeah.
No, I couldn't have dealt with her neighbors. No.
It depends, depends on,
So,
I've been here for 12.
Tennessee's all done,
I've been here
sold?
for 10 minutes sometimes.
The appraisal was done today, so it should close in about 2 weeks.
Got all their stuff out of the
Raised
house.
right, and you got a good buyer for it?
I have a good buyer, yeah. I paid all their closing costs for them, but they're newlyweds and they just found out they're pregnant. And I'm like, aw.
I'm not feeling bad for somebody like that.
And I left them so much, I left them everything in the kitchen. Left them the kitchen table, chairs.
Not me, I get stuck paying crazy ladies.
The new, yeah. Oh, I left them a new lawnmower, I left them stuff I decorate with.
Is, we only have 2 computers on station.
You're awesome.
We have a tablet. We have
I'd be more like you.
laptops.
When I
by the IT guy.
got a divorce and bought my first house with the kids, I was so thankful they paid my closing costs, you know? And so I was like, well, I've never really paid that forward, I guess now it's time, so I did.
When we sold our Broadway Street house, the lady was older. Justin, we're at closing, he said, I wanna pay for a 1-year home warranty for this lady. I want nothing to have, $700 later. Here's this 1-year warranty for this lady.
Not too bad.
He said he'll
We have a DDA meeting actually happening this Friday.
Yes.
Friday?
No, Wednesday,
Wednesday.
tomorrow, or Wednesday, yes. Yes, we do on Wednesday, unless we don't have a quorum, but I would think we do this time.
You guys, look to replace Fran yet?
Just this, so.
We haven't had a meeting.
Well, I know, but have you like started recruiting?
Oh, I have no idea.
Well, we had one extra person, 'cause we only needed what?
Oh,
8,
yeah.
And we had 9.
So we don't technically have to replace, but
It's good to have someone.
yes.
You guys, I don't know if you guys are
But
available or
from
whatever, for hit, behind the building, there's a dumpster, that we throw that
You guys
carpet.
need to hire an executive
If
director.
you guys can get it.
I don't know why that
Because
hasn't
he said
been
he
discussed.
So,
So dumb.
Yeah, we gotta come down
I
there.
cannot believe that
Well, I think we got a carpet, we got some wood.
what's his name didn't
We got
recommend that.
house, we have to
We even put it in the budget.
The,
County,
Brian's? No, Dan's. No,
Dan Fetty.
yeah.
If we go out back, we'll be
Like
like
the
a
cheese.
miles for it.
No, it's Fetty.
Oh,
No, not feta.
I always
like
call him
Fetty
Feta.
Wap.
It's Fetty, but I always call him Fetty.
So that,
you guys working on getting Fran?
oh, yeah, that's not in there.
Right.
They don't appear to be,
Nobody's even talked about it, like, why hasn't that been?
But I'm wondering if it's because,
so there's 2
Who
dumpsters
would
back
know
there, and
that?
they don't appear that they're not.
Well, Tony and Dan. I mean, we had a paid director when I was with DDA, that's how, the only reason how we got stuff done is she sucked. If we didn't have her, we would've sucked even more.
The water department.
Deputy pastor.
oh, she was probably drunk.
She was drunk, all the time. So, she was awful, but at least we could say, do this and do this and do this, and then
She,
she'd do it.
is she this, at that time, because I don't remember, was she also this position?
She was just the DDA, and, part-time director, and then she was an economic development
Yeah,
person.
no, nothing,
Ever.
no.
Yeah, cause she didn't do crap. That's how we lost a hotel, that's how we lost Casey's,
Yes.
and that's how we lost, a sports place that went to South Bend, that's how we lost.
So they were on firmware 15,
There was another
it
one, I
supposed
can't
to be
remember.
36.
Those are the only ones I knew about.
It's already communicated.
Cause they would call this chamber and go, hey, why isn't the city getting back to us on this crap?
They're updated now.
Everyone would just push stuff around on her desk and act like she was working.
Yeah, guys coming.
I wanted to.
Wednesday.
But even with how crappy she was and doing part-time DDA stuff, we still got stuff done. Cause the group was strong, and
Right.
so we would make our decisions and be like, go do it. And then she would go do it, and then, you know, sort of.
You should say something.
It's too late now, the budget, you guys are gonna approve the budget, so what I would do is
Well-
amend the budget next year and hire directors. I'd wait, I'd go a year, you know, do as much as you can as a volunteer group, but track every time something doesn't get done, or anytime that you don't meet a deadline, and go, this is because you're not the director. If we had a
Right.
director, we would be meeting our deadlines and getting stuff done. So,
I can't even remember where we left off with
but that was
last
where the
meeting.
Main Street, our Main Street program.
That was the same,
fell off, right?
yeah,
I mean, we
right.
just couldn't keep it going for very long. I mean, you
Mm-mm.
just, it's too much work, too much work. But I'm sure it's
Just
a
one of
Tony
those
thing.
is
They
more
just
than
don't wanna
my
spend
whole
money.
budget
Well,
line
you can't
for
be good if you don't
radios.
spend money. You know, there's not any sort of community out there that has a really good DDA that doesn't have a paid director. You just look around, I mean, everybody who's like ours has a paid director, I mean, everybody.
Yeah, but I wonder why it wasn't ever brought up.
I know, that's the part that I'm like, that's why I said something at that one meeting, I was like,
Well, the county kinda said that.
contrary to
when we were
popular
switching, we
belief,
used
I'm
it, but
confused as to why we don't have a DDA director budgeted for.
Well, and I'm surprised that Dan didn't bring it up.
That's what I want, I'm sure Tony told him not to.
I have trouble with them every
Tony
once in a
probably
while
just
because
wants
they,
money.
just
He doesn't
because
want
of
it.
bouncing around
He
in the
doesn't want
trucks and
somebody
stuff
to
like
use
that.
radio channel.
Yeah.
Because if you have a DDA director, then
Yeah,
it's
so I've got some
lateral to
roads if you
Tony.
want. I don't know if they'll have your
DDA
channel.
Still
Right.
kind of
What channel you
reports
use,
to
but,
Tony, but it's
you're
not,
welcome to them.
Yeah, the only
it's,
problem
it
is
would be
those are
another
obsolete
person
as well.
that Tony.
Right, but they
would-
just like work.
Our officer radios are newer than.
Those, no, those XTS ones, those are all outdated.
Well, there's one that belongs to Fox that if he has a DDA
Well, if you need to know,
We got
control.
3 or 4 of them. I mean, it never hurts, because I'm always calling them saying, hey, this radio quit working, or the mic
After
gets
you guys
banged on something.
make decisions and enforce that, he
Yeah.
had to enforce that.
So,
The commissioners don't even
Yeah.
have say, as long as you're following.
the one on the loader just hangs there, so any, yeah,
I mean,
it
that's
just
good
bounces
money.
off.
that
I
the
take it
city
down and put it
loses
next to the thing.
accountability.
But
But
the round
the
drives
fact
around,
that
it
Dan has
bangs
to
off
run
the
around
ground.
like a
Dude,
little
that
bit.
would drive me
I'm a little
nuts.
myth-
I'd drive it all day
Dan should be
long like
looking
that.
for
Bam, bam.
Oh,
what's better
I was just
for
thinking of the
town,
handhelds,
not
but I forgot, we got
for
one
what's
Right.
better for somebody else working there.
So then how
Yeah,
would
well,
we,
yeah, but I mean,
so we're the
the
community
bays, the
that has the
mobiles,
most,
and the
Right.
handhelds.
The
But-
station
right.
one,
but how do
21
other communities pay
Pardon?
an executive director when they're only operating on
We're working.
20,000 a year?
Well, it's usually more than
Well,
that.
I mean, you guys gotta get-
Not all of them
That's
have
why I
to,
have it.
but the ones that do are committed. That's
Well,
why
that's
if you
Gotcha.
look around and see the communities that have,
I see
even if
what
it's a
you're saying.
part-time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, that's how we have.
They usually do pretty good.
So,
So there's a correlation
Mhm.
between communities that have DDA and Main Street directors and how good they're doing.
Yeah,
I mean, look at Cass, we did their whole downtown, they had a paid person.
yeah, and we do get a lot from Tracy Mast about that.
Right.
Because she was so involved with it.
But you can't compare us against Cass. Cass had a lot of agriculture dollars bled into it, poured into it,
Yes,
right?
and that's
Are
part of the problem
Now, the one at 40, we
that
had
I'm
replaced
seeing
6 years ago, 5, 6 years ago.
She's just awful.
And that was good.
Yeah,
but the
she's
other
like,
ones are
none of
bad.
you talk, I
Right,
need some.
right.
And it's like, no, yeah,
She's a little bit of a puppet from Tony, but I pulled her aside the other day after the chamber meeting and I told her, I kind of told her my 2 cents.
So that was the other side of it, because we had a guy from.
If you want
Down
your
to
local
help us
business
do our
community support,
radios.
you need, there's a few things that you need to be aware of. And I walked her through some of that stuff, stuff you know about, stuff, you know,
Yeah.
that's priorities. But she wasn't even on her radar. So, but Michael and I are gonna come present the common, we just finished our common, committee meeting, the day I messaged you, said you guys
Yeah.
wanna contribute. So we're done with that, we have all of our acts lined up, for the most part, we have 2 that will bring like 10,000 people to town.
Yeah, but the
Like,
mandate
Are they-
was screw this.
big acts, like,
they're not all like fiddlers and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just,
I mean, there's some, I mean, there's a little bit of that, but,
anyway, it is what it is.
it's all singer-songwriter stuff.
Okay.
It's now cover bands, right? The common, if we want a
No,
cover
right.
band concert, then we have to do that, right?
Yeah,
So these are all singer-songwriters that, I mean, a But I don't book the talent, like, that's not part of my job. My job is to make sure that the common production works, you know.
No, yeah, yeah.
So, Michael and I share that, he's more of on the side of the booking
'Cause-
side.
And he knows a lot of them
Well, he does,
from the
but
industry.
we also have the guy that does all of the delivery stuff in Benton Harbor.
Oh.
The booking agent, he's on ECD.
Oh, okay.
He helps with that, so, he's a chamber, he sucks, but he's good at booking bands, so we
Uh,
work, Brandon.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
he's a booking agent.
Okay.
So, and then TJ, who's got connections
Yep.
everywhere, he's the main guy that does the booking.
TJ that lives in
Kansas.
Stillwater.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So him and I have been on the concert for a long time, more than 10 years, him and I. And then Michael's new and most of the board is 2 to 3 years old, but anyways, so the common was built in '94 and there's been no updates to it since 1994. None.
Either you guys
We've cleaned it,
took care of it.
painted it, band-aided it, there's been 0 updates to it. And so, we're gonna go out and apply for a bunch of grants to try to do some infrastructure updates there. Because right now, we can't do bands, we can't go any higher. Like, the common can only accommodate so much.
Right.
So, we've got lighting, sound, video, concrete, green room, all these things that need to be dealt with before we can do any bigger acts. So,
Mm-hmm.
we're obviously coming to the DDA for funding for the programming, but we're also going to note that we're going out to apply for some grants, and some of these grants are matching grants. So we're hoping that between the foundation, the DDA, and city, the two of them, that we can fundraise like somewhere around the $60,000 mark to make some infrastructure updates. Because again, nothing's been done since 1990. It's pretty good, but we've had
That's-
thousands and thousands of concerts there.
Yeah.
And nothing's been done to update it.
More of the
Zero
city trying to
things.
push full-time stuff.
I put some new electrical in there, and my BPM crew did a bunch of like hardware updates and fixes to make sure the barn door latched, because you could literally push the doors open and go in back there. But there's been 0 things done there.
I know that, well, with the Christmas lighting, I know that
Right.
they did some updating with that.
They just update the Christmas lights. They didn't
Oh,
update
is-
anything in the common. In
Oh,
fact,
I
the
thought they
Christmas.
had to update the electric.
No, we made some electrical updates, changes, they weren't even updates, in fact, they're kind of made the common worse for theatrical performances to accommodate the Christmas lights, we kind of
Oh.
made it worse.
I don't know what the deal is.
Wasn't good, so, the holiday lighting is really hard on the common, they put new screws in it, they put holes in it, it's like Swiss cheese. All the sidings got holes in it everywhere, because they put new screws in it every single year, and they never patch them. So the holiday lighting's really, really hard on it.
It's just more people down here.
So when you start walking that place, you're like, Jesus Christ, this thing's a toilet, man.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea.
It's bad. So anyways, just so you know, we're gonna talk to the DDA about that. We've got, I think, 6 grants, that we're going to be, trying to apply for. You're the first to hear about this.
No, I'm just saying like they were
If you're listening, Haley.
Sorry,
physically.
I am now.
No, it's all right.
You're fine.
But anyway, so that's kind of the plan for Wednesday. We'll see what happens though.
I'm trying to see, I'm trying to talk.
I don't understand why they would just.
I know.
Well, now it costs too much.
Right.
1069 or 1069?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Why they didn't just put them both in?
We need some coffee down here at
Yeah.
City Hall.
Bring
Yes.
donuts.
Donut.
Donut.
They have their own.
Except for if you do call for donuts, somebody probably show up.
Do what?
If you do call for donuts, somebody probably would show up.
Right, getting new radios, telling them that,
Telling out for donuts.
one guy from the county, Kevin Stacker, you guys might as well just go to 800s.
This is a long boring.
Those are gonna be outdated.
Dennis, you leaving?
By the time you get them up and going.
Dennis,
you're not gonna be able to-
are you bored?
You're gonna have to-
Hi.
Rick Huff was standing there and he said, absolutely.
We're almost there.
Not going on our 800.
All I was gonna do
Will
is
not
tell
go
them,
on our 800.
do they have their reservations for
Dial it
how
up.
much it's different?
Where are the places you want them to go? Anywhere that's got
He
the
said,
posters?
he said, absolutely.
No,
they will not be on
there's 9 sit-down restaurants, they can go to any
Okay.
restaurant.
Alright.
Yeah.
I didn't know if there's any specials
Oh, my neck.
Yeah, I mean,
No, like Hilltop got theirs.
sweet chocolate, ravioli special.
Yeah, posters, put them on there and then I'll have Haley go.
I got my poster
Did you
up.
say you'll have Haley do what?
Cause she wasn't paying attention, so we're gonna have her go up. We'll
Yeah.
nominate her. Alright, Dennis, we'll see you later.
See you Saturday night.
Bye.
Bye, Mary.
I can't believe that. It's freaking Valentine's Day already.
I'm not eating
Dean just said that.
No.
I'll get up there and tell him 67 days till Chunks is over.
Hey, you know what we're doing for Valentine's Day next year? Doing a dinner and a concert to the loading dock. So we already 1985 and full catered dinner.
Then we better find me a Valentine by then, cause it's not looking good for this year.
You can bring your dog. It's fine.
Bring what? No.
He'll kick her out.
Yeah.
We can find you a Valentine.
Oh, God, that just sounds
We
miserable.
gotta take some valves off our
It is.
CPA models,
Guaranteed.
so if you guys can help me with that.
Yeah.
Cause you guys probably got a big enough place.
I was gonna use that.
Pardon?
I was gonna use that.
We were gonna tone out for some coffee and donuts down here. We were getting a little tired.
Easy with the donuts word.
See, somebody would show up. Get on the radio, ask for donuts, somebody show up.
Donuts is fine, it's a nice healthy food, right, in moderation, so.
In moderation.
It's not a stereotype. We like cinnamon.
Collins did ask
I'll defend you.
Thank
if
I'll
I could
defend
get
you, Harvey.
one
We're good. We're on the same page.
today, and I was like,
Sounds amazing.
I said they're closed. She said, okay, could you get up in the morning and get me some?
When's Fat Tuesday?
I don't know, but today was the whole punchki day.
No, that's tomorrow, I
That was
thought.
today.
I missed it.
You're lying.
I swear to God, Kate went and got some at 7 o'clock this morning.
From where?
The Maine, Macquarie, whatever.
Bill McCree's.
Yeah,
That's
Bill
where you
McCree.
have to get them. Man,
She went and got them this morning.
I missed it.
You can get them again tomorrow. You just have to go.
Oh,
It all depends on what's going on.
They're available starting today.
but tomorrow's Fat Tuesday. That's the day you eat them on, Fat Tuesday.
Oh, well, I guess I'm gonna
We
end
gotta
up
go get fat tomorrow.
I'm gonna pick you up in the morning and we're gonna go get
You better
donuts.
go
Okay.
before 8 because, man, we're
We'll be,
take it
Oh,
up.
that's too early. I don't get up that early.
we'll be waiting in line.
Yeah, we're not getting them. We got them one year from Mertens and they were god awful. I'm about cute.
Me?
You want the real deal.
I don't like them.
What?
What?
I know.
Something's wrong with you.
Bread. It's like too much bread.
Oh, give me all the bread. Loaves.
Loaves.
Yes.
Bread and whipped cream. Like, I can make this at home. You got 2 pieces of bread, whipped cream, and friggin' strawberries done. That's all it is to me.
You forgot the powdered sugar.
Okay, well, alright. I can do that too.
Oh, man, those sound so good.
We started talking about donuts and now we're on the
East
punch.
side.
Yeah, we're going. Lauren?
She's probably asleep.
We're having, Lauren, tomorrow
Once
morning,
he
we're going
installed,
to
so
get
we used to,
punch
we've had
keys.
a
I have to type
giveaway
fax
program for
'cause
years.
talk to
Yeah, so
We would
punch
install,
keys, it'll
you know,
say
depending on
It said punch keys.
It doesn't know Polish.
I don't either. So I gotta Google it.
I don't even know.
Paxi.
Paxi.
He will not be there.
I was calling it curdling yesterday. Curdling instead of curling. Justin said, Haley, you have to be joking right now. I was like, what? He said, it is not called curdling. That's what milk does. Because we don't watch no football.
Yeah, what's your phone? That's great.
So we watch the Olympics.
That's good for him.
611.
Yeah, dinner and,
Huh?
dinner and, live music. Should be good.
I'll do that.
We have like 50 events already booked.
Do you really? Starting this, like, soon?
May 1st, Brady wants prom dinner.
We call him over.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Right, nobody cares.
Can we dress?
When you see them, that's what you do.
I'm gonna dress up with ice
We're going to
cream.
the prom.
We are.
We'll just walk in. Nobody will know.
You'll blend right in.
We'll look just like
You
a
have to get
high
your,
schooler.
get your slutty dresses on. That's the only way I'll blend.
Yeah.
Show some leg.
Have it all falling out.
I know.
Yeah, I know, Colin's told me. Listen, Randy. poking my belly. And she's squeezing my boobs. And she says, "You're squishy." And she said, "I want big boobs like you when I get older."
Where does Collins come up with this?
Oh my God.
She says the most off the wall.
She says crazy stuff. I said, "You don't want them like your mom?" She said, "No."
Yeah. Last week she told me and Justin she needed some water before bed because her cholesterol was high.
Oh, yes, it was.
I was like, what in the world?
She can even say the word college.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, she'll tell you all kinds of things.
She's way too smart for her age. She
She
can spell
is.
her name,
She's,
knows her opposites, like, she's,
what'd she say today? Up, down, opposite. Up, down, opposite. Oh, she's so funny. And then she wanted to know where my old house was. What happened to your old house? Well, I have those foam letters that fit into each other that she's played with when she was a baby. She wanted to know where they were. She thought I got rid of them. I said, "No, they're in the closet where your toys are." So worried.
yeah, on Friday she like must have had a thought about it when she told Justin's mom, Juju got rid of my toys. And she said, what toys?
And it's been over a year that I moved.
Those mats that go down.
So I should have got the ice cream. Before we get off.
Yes.
She always wants to know why she can't get ice cream.
She told me the other day that she doesn't like the ice cream place that keeps taking her, which is Dairy Queen.
Hey, that's my favorite.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's like, I don't know what, she said, you keep taking me to that place I don't like. And I was like, what place? She said, that place with the ice cream. Well, then we went to Baskin Robbins after gymnastics about a month ago, and they had Cookie Monster. She got it. We're standing in there, I'm paying. She goes to take a bite, and she said, this doesn't taste good.
Oh, man.
The lady asked her if she wanted different ice cream. She said, yeah.
She's a professional.
Yeah. I said, I am so sorry.
We gotta do some updates out there this year. Some big updates. That whole area is taking a heavy beating during this construction.
Yeah.
The 611 Yeah. She told me that number.
That, electric shack today, I was out there moving some bricks around. Have the masons start working on the back of that, cause the bricks are all coming out. They're doing some tuck pointing back there.
Yep.
Then the frickin' weather went south and haven't started, or we haven't thawed since, but, yeah, so like, I'm gonna try to get that finish fixed, up, I'm gonna add some more lighting to the electric shack, I'm gonna try to clean up and trim around the sidewalks, like, edging,
Yeah.
and like, just try to make it prettier out there.
I do want to get concrete around the building
Yeah,
before we open. But just gotta thaw and not be so damn cold.
right. Well, and you need to get those gutters cleaned out this year and downspouts and stuff, there's just,
Oh yeah, Justin, he's been looking. He's found some that he thinks are gonna match the other building. They're like older.
well, I'm gonna have some metal fabricator out to do some soffit, so I'll tell them to look that direction and get a quote together.
Okay.
It won't be too expensive, it's just,
And then.
it's not so much about the color, 'cause you can get them any color you want,
Right.
it's about the style, to make sure it fits and it won't
Yeah.
be in the ways where people will step on them and break them.
Right.
The commercial ones are really expensive, and I don't really think we need to do it, but we'll see. I think we can get away with just 5 or 6 inch residential ones, as long as we get the right color.
Right.
But they still have to fix the water, like, the ponding's out there too.
Yes.
Because as soon as that little pop-up drain evacs the basement, it just stays there, there's nowhere for the water to go.
Yeah. No. Oh, that pit was full. It was all dirty and scary down there.
Pisses me off, 'cause we got it nice and good, clean at one point last year, Joe was on it, he was down there, he got it all dry. It's just, once the construction happens, like,
We'll be down there this week. We gotta go put our new dehumidifier in the basement.
we're getting in there.
Throw out the one that
We cleaned out
Boop.
the one there.
went in.
So we opened the manhole
Well, the way the line comes out of the freezer to go down in there, it's bent, and it takes hours to drain. So we move it and we put the drain into the sink underneath. And the health department said we were close enough, so we can do that.
I mean, I could.
You need to, when you guys are going out there, you need to let me know so I can have Joe
Right.
out there, maybe me too, so I wanna put eyes on that
That's the
basement.
only problem.
Okay.
Before we start the season, so, when
We
you guys
still
are
gotta
getting
get
out,
in
you
the
know.
creek and go.
Okay.
Unless it's like late at night, Joe won't come, but,
Oh,
you know,
we
you guys
may
go out
be
there
able to suck some stuff out.
Yeah, we'll go there, they're not super late soon, and I'll let you know. Well, look, if there's any issue from, the whole road thing, Julie just got a check from Caitlin.
It just covered my invoice that I had to pay, so my building next to Gary Z's, sand came in and destroyed my tankless water heaters, both of them. So then I just put in a regular water heater, so it was like $1,400. Yeah, sand just came in, Bailey went down there to figure out what was going on, and so he started blowing lines, and it was just pure sand coming through. Yeah, and then the Hilltop Restaurant building, they knocked some bricks out or whatever, so front, right by the entrance. Yeah, so, I haven't heard anything yet, but it probably went there, so you have to wait for a while to get it from here. Then, was it last
Friday,
Last Friday? Was it Friday? No. Thursday. Dion got a hold of Lauren, the power went out, he didn't know what was going on. Well, 25 roof leaks. 25 roof leaks dripped down into the panel. Fried it, it's all melted.
So lucky to burn that place down.
Uh-huh. So I had, well, Lauren, I didn't. Lauren called, Holmes Roofing. He's so nice. He came right out, and Colin Wheatley came right out. Colin took care of the electrical, Holmes Roofing, like shoveled the roof and got it as dry as they could and put temporary patches. The electrical was $2,500.
I can come to the
then
office tomorrow.
I think
Colin
the
left a
roof
note
was
in the
like
mailbox for
18.
Pickerington.
This time. But can you imagine, that whole thing could've went up in smoke.
I couldn't get it out of the mailbox, cause then it came out, so it's still in there. And then we had to call Joe to come to the office.
Did he get the boot? Or is he staying?
I went downstairs to move some
I know
things.
it doesn't have it, but I'll.
I heard dripping, and I was like,
You're gone, bye.
Yeah, trust me, it was like freaking Siberian.
Mr. Mayor, I'd make a motion to come back in from closed session.
Thank you, do we have support? Thank you, okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Like, it's dripping.
Okay, very good. Alright. Moving on to item D, thank you everybody for your patience. At this time, we'll take a motion to consider approving the expenditures for the amount of $40,222.04.
Yeah, there was not really, I mean, the lawyer things used to always be, but we're doing so much, we're gonna have attorney fees. I don't think there was anything at all, Tony, that we talked about that we really needed to bring up.
this month.
It's very small, so I mean, that's a good thing, but I just wanted to point out that we still go over them all. I highlight the ones that I question and, I get it explained to me, and if it needs to be discussed publicly, I bring it up, and there hasn't been anything, there was nothing in this one. So I will move to approve the expenditures in the amount of $40,222.04.
Thank you, do we have support?
This money I'll support.
Thank you, discussion? Okay, roll call please.
Money?
Yes.
Bianski?
Yes.
Eden?
Yes.
Swem?
Yes.
And George?
Yes.
Very good, thank you. Okay, at this time, we do not have any communication. We will take public comment on non-agenda items only. Please approach the podium, state your name for the record, and please keep your
a reminder about it.
Haley Jones, Dennis Moore had to leave, so he wanted me to, remind everybody this Saturday, Valentine's Day here in Buchanan, 9 sit-down restaurants, so if you don't have plans, take your significant other or whoever out to dinner.
Good job.
Thanks. Very good.
Here comes Norma.
Won't have anybody next Valentine's Day, you take her to McDonald's this year.
Started half of them I can.
Where's your walking stick at?
It's over there, but
Okay.
I'm trying to cheat. You guys will pick me up if I fall down.
We got a few strong men in this room.
Got the fire department in.
Yeah.
All for assist.
Oh, I've got a good group.
Yeah, you got some of the best.
You're using your 2 minutes.
Be quiet.
No, don't mind.
I know him.
You've been sitting next to him for too many
Oh,
years.
the hammer.
Norma Ferris, it's my turn.
She said,
304 North Oak. When is yard sale? American Heritage Girls asked me to find out what the date was for yard sale.
It's usually the first weekend in June.
All right.
That's the chamber's responsibility, pretty much. It's not.
Emma does all that.
Chamber's never done it.
Emma
Really?
does the map and everything
It's
for
the
it.
cities.
What's the chamber do, makes the maps?
No, Emma
No.
does the big map.
Chamber doesn't do it.
We provide the permits, so it's just easy. She just puts it on the map, and then when it gets close,
I
she.
thought the chamber participated in that. Thank you, Emma. I just learned something.
She doesn't have her stick, be careful.
First weekend of June is usually when it is, but Norma.
6th and 7th is
There
the
you-
first weekend in June.
Yeah, usually it's right back, but.
Father's Day Sunday
No.
Okay.
for a weekend.
For a
well, it's the
weekend?
weekend after.
Father's Day weekend, it's almost always Father's Day weekend.
When it gets closer though, Norma, I will let you know for sure the exact dates,
Okay.
once I talk to Emma.
I believe her, you guys.
Okay, so more public comment, we'll move on to executive comments. Tony?
I just wanna thank the commission, staff, the community as a whole for the first year. It's been a great first year in the community, we got a lot done, I'm really looking forward to the second year, next second year, so, thank you, everybody.
Awesome, thanks, Tony. Mr. Yansky?
Well, thanks, you guys. Was, rode down memory lane probably for this guy too. I had a lot of formal training, that's why I asked all the questions. Lots of experience doing it, and there's lots of bells and whistles on them things, but thank you very much. The one question I did wanna ask, and I'll leave this to you, you don't have to answer me, but do we have a false alarm system set up so that if we get multiple false alarms from the same person, we can find them? Because I know, well, Kalamazoo, you know, a lot of communities do it. If you get multiple false alarms from the same you fine them for doing that. Now, apartment complexes obviously would have to be exempt from that kind of stuff.
Currently, we do not. We do not have a default, like if we go there 3 times, that we start charging, because that I know of. We don't do that, obviously. We don't have the staff for that. And as far as I know, the city doesn't have that. What we do is when we do go to the same place for the same problem more than twice, then that's when they're advised that if they don't fix it within 24 hours, then we'll have to discuss that further. We really don't have a means for that. Now, I can tell you, there has been very few times that we went to the same place more than 3 times.
Okay.
Well, there used to be, when Smokes belonged to Clark Equipment, and I'm thinking you were on, remember, we used to get those water flow checks there all the time.
Yeah.
And, that could be upwards to 3 or 4 times a week that we used to run those. But we always had to run them because you never knew. And so, I think that's all been alleviated anyway.
Part of that, which should help with that, is the fire inspections. That's part of the inspection, is inspect their sprinkler system, make sure it's in working order, and so that's another hand in helping with that.
All right, well, I just wanted to bring that up. And then, Valentine's Day Saturday, enjoy. there's definitely several restaurants in town that are worth taking your missus to, or whatever you wanna call them. And, I'll stop, I'll just quit right there. What do you mean, thank you, Rachel?
David?
Okay.
Mr. Money.
All right, well, first off, congratulations, Tony, for your first year here. It's been a hectic year, you know, and we all understand that. You came in at a bad time, took the helm, and apparently have done a great job, so thank you very much. With that being said, I know that the staff has helped enormously to get you situated in. I want to say thank you to Harvey for a great report, very good. Always talking about my guy sitting here in front, fire department's always been one of my passions. They do a good job. Every now and then they get kicked around, but all in all, like I said, with the ISO ratings, we've come a long ways in this city. Well, I don't want to leave Mike out either, because that DPW crew did an exceptional job getting our streets cleaned up, getting all of this mess downtown. You know, I mean, if you happen to look at the snow that they pushed into these different lots, they moved a lot of snow and were on the road at all hours of the early morning. So take that back to the guys, and you know, thank you for all that you do. Once again, thank you for this commission.
What about the leaves?
Oh, they got most of the leaves, so nobody's complaining about leaves in their snow blower anymore. That's a great job, you know. So, yep, and we're good to go. Thank you, guys and gals.
Thank you.
Hey, I didn't have my trash picked up.
Ms. George?
Yeah,
Got 2 months for me.
I just wanted to say thank you to both of the chiefs, fire and police, and the firefighters for being here tonight and coming down and giving the presentations for the last year, and all of their hard work that went into that, and just keeping our community safe, hoping we can get to that ISO rating of 3. I work in insurance, so I see how that affects communities, like in one street compared to 2 streets over, like just one being in a city, one being in a township or something like that. So I think that's great and very important. So I also, to go with the presentation with their, the mask and the breathing, or the, oh my word, air, just wanted to say it's great to see our tax dollars at work and being informed as residents of what you're spending your money on. I think that's great, and obviously they're very knowledgeable about the equipment, and it's great to see that. And I just wanted to say thank you to Tony, and he's gonna hate this, but he'll have to get over it, for yet another great 6 months. I feel so confidently about this. We really could not have gotten through the last year, especially with the construction and just different issues at City Hall that have been allowed to go on just because of lack of knowledge or whatever the case was. We really do have the best man at the wheel, and I just want to say, I mean, all the way from capital planning to community involvement, he really is the best guy for the job, and so hold him in very high regard, and I really appreciate everything you do. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Swim?
Chief Burnett, Chief Adams, thank you again. 2 weeks, or 2 meetings in a row. We've had your team down here in front of the commission, and it means a lot to see your faces. I know we could see you in the community more, but coming into the chambers and reading the reports, understanding what you do as best as we can without being in the streets like you, it helps us understand, especially going into budget season, you know, the impact of those packs and what that investment looks like, and with the time, the amount of work our team's been putting in. So thank you, and you know, putting all that work on paper, we do read it, and just thank you for that. Tony,
First and foremost, thank you to all the commissioners. Thank you to Tony. It's been exceptional. I think everybody in the community knows it. I think from the staff to the commission to anybody who knows Tony, and he's not even associated with the city, he brings a breath of fresh air and leadership that is desperately needed. Both chiefs, thank you so much for what you do. Your passion shines through not only in your communication to us, but to the community. It's something that, when I talk to people, the one thing I really appreciate about not only the police is that I consider them a peace force, not just the police force, right? They're part of the community. They live here. They breathe Buchanan as a whole, and I think that means a lot to us as some people from Buchanan. Thankfully, not many people know you unless they know you personally, because you do your job well and you kind of do it behind the scenes. But we do appreciate everything you do, and that chief, to do an ISO rating change. I'm not skilled at any insurance, but if you keep telling us it's going to make things better and it's going to potentially lower people's insurance, well, we'll just keep doing that. So I do have a message from Brad Buchanan, State Representative, 37th District, regarding just the recent audit that we've had for the City of Buchanan, and it states that Dear Buchanan City Commission, we just learned of a recent audit and believe congratulations are in order. Even during a year when you started and finished nearly a $20 million infrastructure project, the City of Buchanan has come out with money to spare and new opportunities on the table. I want to congratulate you and your staff and the people of Buchanan once again on this spectacular achievement. Wishing nothing but success as you continue the new year. That's very important to us as a city, and it speaks highly of us as a commission, us as a city, and Tony and your staff, because we have local communities that are not doing so well. And ourselves have always seemingly done pretty well, but we didn't have the communication and the knowledge we have today about how money's being spent and where it's being spent. And we do. And those weekly updates, Tony, those are, if there's nothing else you did and just did that, like that gives us as a community leaders, and we're out in the public and we can speak eloquently about exactly what is happening within the city chambers, and that makes me very proud to be the mayor of the city when I know that I don't have to turn a blind eye and hope that I have to turn tail on an idea or a subject that I wasn't confident about when I'm out in the public. So thank you for that. So with that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
Also move.
We have support?
I'll support.